because I couldn't get pregnant, I don't know, one thing led to another, and I was just so focused on becoming a mom. It didn't matter how. So I did not know that all these things would transpire. And the story became very interesting when I used to tell people, and that's why I decided to pen it down. The idea of the book started because of the miracle, the chapter of the miracle, which is Kabir's birth. The whole idea started from there, but then when I started writing it, I was back and forth to India actually with Kirti, so I was always reminiscing about my time in India. I took my kids every 4 years to India so they knew where they were born. I didn't want them to have culture shock like I did at age 19, so that's why my love of India, it grew and grew and grew. And so when I was with Kirti, I started writing this book, and I was like, this is what I went through. Oh my God, I remember being at Connaught Place. I remember doing this with Uncle. I remember having a cup of tea on this veranda. So that's when I started putting little pieces together. Then later on, about writing about the kids growing up, I had to include that because raising Kabir, raising Kirti had to be in this book because I had to show the normality of my children and their life with our family. Because there's a stigma in the Indian community, and this is why I had to write those parts. But they say, oh, how do your children feel about, you not being their parent or something? They'll do it like that roundabout way, and they don't understand that these are my children. It's sad that the Indian kids, or they're probably not kids, they're probably 30s or 40s, and they've been trying to conceive, and it's sad that they won't go to that that avenue, I guess, to adopt, because maybe they've got some family pressure and their family is saying you have to adopt through bloodline, and that's a sad state of affairs. And hopefully this book will take them over the edge and say, okay, yeah, maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we can be happy with a child that's not from our family bloodline. So if people can just, read this and get something like that out of it, I'm happy. Because this book is, it is a happy ending. It's like a love story to my children. My mom, she sympathized with me a lot because she felt like she gave me the sickness, the endometriosis, and she was there for me every step of the way. We had talked about it before we got married. We chatted about it because when we only were engaged for 3 months, we just had this arranged marriage, and then we used to just go out for dinner and stuff. And then, of course, what are you going to talk about? Children. That was what we did in those days, right? We don't talk about aspirations of career and this and that. We just talk about family. I said, oh, so how many kids do you want? And he says, well, 2 or whatever. He just, whatever, probably what I wanted to hear. And then I said, well, what about adopting? And he says, well, sure. He didn't flinch at all about that. And that's what I really liked. I don't know if it was really that the child had to be Indian. I think it was because I knew it was a faster path to have a child. I don't think it would have mattered where that child came from, because we were out here we also applied here. And we knew it was going to take 4 or 8 years. They gave us 2 numbers. So that's one of the things that I wrote in the book, was that this is not a how-to book, and it's different for everybody. And then you do have to go through agencies, and things have changed so much because of exploitation of children. I mean, I take care of those. I mean, I go quite often to those girls' orphanages, and they don't do adoptions at all. Kabir is just a very funny kid, and he just makes us laugh. So he's like the class clown of our family, and he has a big presence. So when he's not here, which is all the time now, it's a big void. So, and I think it's nice because he calls me every day or every second day, which is really nice. I don't bug him too much. I don't call him too much, but he'll call me, and I really love that when he does that. What I told him that he was adopted, he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, oh, okay. Didn't know what it meant. But I think he figured out the actual process of adoption because he was there with Kirti. She was like sitting in her little crib at this nursery, and when I saw her, I started crying. And nobody witnessed this with Kabir. I did the same thing with him. But when this cousin of ours witnessed this, he said, oh my God, I've never seen love at first sight until this moment. And that's why I named the book Love at First Sight, because it was so right on. And that's what I felt about her. She was mine. We see them every day. We see something, and they say it to us too. So, oh my God, Mom, I'm acting like you. Keepi says it all the time. And I see a lot of Kabir I see a lot of Gurpreet in Kabir, and there's a lot of habits. But it's interesting that I see a lot of my brother in Kabir, which is very, I feel like kind of pride in that when I see him, the persona and the type of kid he is. And because Rand used to make us laugh just the way Kabir makes us laugh. So if anybody's thinking about it, please just do it. It's really, like I think I've written in there, unconditional love both ways. I mean, I'm so blessed to have my little unit. I love it.